35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like he's a
The talk of a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to stir up debates everywhere.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation.
Fans, analysts, and fighters alike are contributing to the growing excitement, all sharing strong opinions. While these two champions come from different weight classes, the idea of them facing off in the ring is becoming a hot topic, especially as both are seeking opponents for spring 2025.
Biggest fight in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing.
Canelo Alvarez, who last fought in September, successfully retained his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles by defeating Edgar Berlanga. On the other hand, Terence Crawford fought a month earlier, moving up to the 154 pounds division and defeating Israel Madrimov for the WBA super welterweight title.
Is able to bridge the gap in those three weight classes. It's a tall order, it's a tough task, I would think, for Terence, but at the same time, I will back him. I think that his skill level is up there with the greatest. I've never seen anybody that has everything. Good speed, power, timing, can switch the way he switched.
To face Canelo, Crawford would need to put on another 14 pounds to compete at super middleweight. Many believe this size difference will be Crawford's downfall, but not everyone agrees. Tim Bradley, two-time world champion and boxing analyst, has made waves with his bold prediction. On his YouTube channel, Bradley confidently declared that Crawford is about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. His fiery claim has sparked a divide among fans. Could Crawford really dominate someone like Canelo, who has ruled the super middleweight division for years?
Beat Canelo. Crawford beats anybody he steps in the ring with. Anybody. He don't go, no one beats him. No one.
Crawford is no stranger to making history. Having achieved undisputed status in both the super lightweight and welterweight divisions, a win over Canelo would elevate him to a new level in the sport. But Canelo isn't concerned. He has already made it clear that he doesn't see Crawford as a real threat. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo summed up his confidence with one simple statement: weight classes exist for a reason. He added, "He's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight isn't that exciting. I saw his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now, so if the money's right, I'm in right now."
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money...
Canelo's words have left some fans questioning whether he sees this as just another payday instead of a serious challenge. Critics argue that dismissing Crawford's skills might be a mistake. Crawford's supporters point to his unmatched boxing IQ and adaptability, but the doubt about whether Crawford can handle Canelo's power remains a significant concern. Welterweight contender Alexis Rocha, who has faced both fighters, shared his thoughts: "There are weight classes for a reason. Canelo is much bigger, but Crawford has the size, reach, and boxing IQ. That's the most important thing in the ring."
Crawford is the man to be right now. He's on top of the world. He has every right to be with the performance against Errol Spence, and I feel that he should be in line to fight Canelo, even though he's obviously smaller.
While Rocha acknowledges Crawford's skills, he leans slightly towards Canelo. "I think Crawford would hold his own well in that fight, but I'd lean towards Canelo because of his experience and his ability to handle big fights." Bradley, however, isn't convinced by this reasoning. "Canelo's been fighting guys who stand right in front of him," Bradley argued. "Crawford won't do that. He's going to move, counter, and make Canelo look slow. Mark my word."
Where I see Canelo vulnerable, and it's crazy because in his last fight you saw, what's his name, Ryder? Yeah, Ryder explored it, and it worked. It was the uppercut.
The fight isn't just about skill, it's about size, power, and strategy. Canelo's camp insists that Crawford's recent performance against Israel Madrimov didn't show the dominance needed to take on someone like Canelo. They believe Crawford might struggle to bring the same explosiveness to 168 pounds. But Crawford remains confident. While acknowledging the size difference, he's determined to rely on his skill and preparation to overcome the challenge. He's vocal about wanting to test himself against the best, and he sees Canelo as the ultimate challenge. Negotiations for the fight have been complicated, with reports suggesting Canelo is demanding a massive payday, while Crawford's team wants to ensure the fight stays competitive.
Stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
The money, weight, and logistics all need to align for this bout to happen. Fans are already picking sides, with some calling it a mismatch, while others believe this could be a legacy-defining fight for both fighters. Canelo's critics accuse him of cherry-picking opponents, and now they are questioning if he's looking at Crawford as an easy win. On the other hand, Crawford faces the pressure of proving he can handle the physicality of a bigger, stronger opponent. This controversy is exactly what's fueling the fight's hype. People are debating Canelo's experience and power versus Crawford's boxing IQ and adaptability. Some believe Canelo's power will be too much, while others think Crawford's skill will give him the edge.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, fight hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terrence Crawford? What do we think about Terrence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
If this fight happens, could redefine both fighters' legacies. For Crawford, a win would solidify his place as one of the greatest ever. For Canelo, it would silence critics and prove that he's still at the top of his game. The stakes are incredibly high. James Toney, when asked about Crawford's chances against Canelo, responded with one word: easy. For someone like Toney, who has seen it all in boxing across multiple weight divisions, this wasn't just a casual opinion, it was a bold declaration. His belief in Crawford's ability to dismantle Canelo comes from a deep understanding of boxing's intricacies.
Asking for Canelo. He'll beat Canelo. Easy win. Easy win. Masterclass. Same thing. You think he could potentially just? Same thing. Same ending. Same thing. Trust me. Wow.
Canelo is a good fighter, but he's not on my level, Toney quipped, throwing shade at Alvarez's record and skill set. The implication was clear: Canelo, despite his achievements, might be overhyped. Toney's confidence in Crawford goes beyond admiration. He believes Crawford's adaptability and ability to exploit weaknesses will be enough to take down someone like Canelo. This bold statement has ignited debates, with many questioning whether Toney's words underrate Canelo's accomplishments at super middleweight.
Done. What a trash-ass fight. What a garbage-ass fight, bruh. It's a one-sided fight. Meaning, it's an all-win, nothing to lose for Terrence Crawford, and it's an all-lose, nothing to win for Canelo Alvarez. I've always told y'all.
The size disparity remains a key concern. Crawford, who just moved into the 154 pounds division, would need to bulk up significantly to challenge Canelo at 168 pounds. Many see this jump as insurmountable, but Toney, who himself transitioned from middleweight to heavyweight, believes size is not a limitation for Crawford. Trust me, Toney said, hinting at nuances in Crawford's style that could neutralize Canelo's strengths. By comparing Crawford's potential fight with Canelo to his own career, Toney implied that Canelo's dominance at 168 pounds might be overrated.
I think that's weird, because you'd have to gain 20 pounds? Yeah. But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight, that's the money fight, that's the only thing that makes sense with Terrence Crawford.
Well, catch weight. You can do something at a catch weight.
What you think?
Canelo's fans, understandably defensive, argue that Toney's comments come from his era of boxing, when fights were grittier and less reliant on promotion. Whether or not that's true, Toney's words have sparked controversy. Meanwhile, Demetrius Andrade takes a more cautious approach. While he acknowledges Crawford's boxing IQ and skill, Andrade doesn't share Tony's optimism about Crawford's chances. Canelo is a big bad wolf, Andrade stated, painting Alvarez as a ring predator who controls the pace and absorbs the pressure of big fights. For Andrade, the challenge isn't just about size or power, it's about the complete package that Canelo brings to the ring.
Crawford, I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter.
While Crawford's ability to bridge the weight gap is undeniable, Andrade remains skeptical about whether it will be enough to defeat Canelo. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, Andrade admitted, though he conceded that Crawford would make for a great fight. This more balanced perspective contrasts sharply with Tony's bravado, offering a more measured take on the matchup. Still, Andrade's comments only add to the excitement surrounding the potential showdown. Despite his doubts, he acknowledges the global appeal of the fight, saying, "That's a huge fight." For Andrade, this fight is more than just a clash of skills, it's a battle of legacies, where both men have something to prove. Canelo seeks to solidify his place as the best of his era, while Crawford is aiming to defy the odds and achieve something unprecedented.
Yeah, the size is an issue. Canelo is way bigger. This fight's at 54. He's got two weight classes to broach in order to get to 168 to fight Canelo. But as you said,
Crawford's ability to bridge the weight gap is undeniable, but Andrade remains skeptical about whether it will be enough. "I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo," Andrade admitted, although he did concede that Crawford would put up a good fight. This more balanced view sharply contrasts with Tony's bold statements, offering a more measured perspective on the potential matchup. Interestingly, Andrade's comments also highlight the unique allure of this fight. Despite his doubts, he acknowledges that the bout would captivate fans worldwide. "That's a huge fight," he said, emphasizing the demand for such a showdown. For Andrade, the fight is about more than just a clash of skills, it's a battle of legacies. The stakes are higher than ever, and both fighters have something to prove. Canelo, with his established dominance, wants to cement his place as the best of this era, while Crawford seeks to defy the odds and achieve something unprecedented.
Event across town put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments.
Canelo's track record against smaller fighters adds another layer of complexity to this debate. His recent victory over Jermell Charlo, who moved up 2 divisions, showcased Canelo's ability to dominate opponents outside their natural weight class. For many, this sets a precedent that Crawford may struggle to overcome. However, Crawford supporters argue that his style is fundamentally different from Charlo's. While Charlo seemed hesitant and overwhelmed, Crawford thrives on adaptability and tactical brilliance. Whether that will be enough to challenge Canelo's physicality remains a contentious point. Dmitry Bivol's insights into Canelo's power provide another angle in the discussion. Having faced Alvarez at light heavyweight, Bivol described Canelo's punches as forceful but not naturally devastating. "He doesn't have that power you're born with," Bivol noted, suggesting that Canelo relies more on technique and precision than raw strength. For Crawford, this could present an opening. If Canelo's power isn't overwhelming at 175 pounds, how much of a threat would it pose to a fighter as skilled and defensively sound as Crawford?
The Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right.
Still, Andrade doesn't discount Canelo's ability to adapt. He sees Alvarez as a fighter who has evolved over time, learning how to handle different styles and strategies. Canelo knows how to move, Andrade emphasized, countering claims that Alvarez lacks agility. This versatility, combined with his experience against top-tier opponents, makes Canelo a formidable challenge for anyone stepping into the ring.
Crawford fans, I've been trying to say this, dog. Canelo at 168 is all wrong for Crawford, dog.
What makes this debate even more intriguing is the broader context of Canelo's career. With fewer options at super middleweight, a fight against Crawford presents Alvarez with a chance to prove himself against a truly unique opponent. Yet, critics argue that Canelo's willingness to entertain this fight is more about financial gain than sporting merit. By facing a smaller but highly skilled opponent, Alvarez could secure a lucrative payday without the risk of fighting larger, more dangerous adversaries at light heavyweight. For Crawford, the fight represents the ultimate test. Moving up 2 divisions to face someone as established as Canelo is a monumental task, even for a fighter of his caliber. However, the allure of making history and cementing his legacy is undeniable. Crawford's team believes in his ability to outbox Canelo, leveraging his speed, footwork, and boxing IQ to neutralize Alvarez's advantages. Whether that belief translates into reality remains to be seen. David Benavidez, always confident in his abilities, didn't hold back when discussing the potential matchup. He pointed out Crawford's brilliance as a technical fighter but also highlighted the size and power differences that could come into play in a fight against Canelo.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and I'm gonna.
Benavidez admitted that while Crawford has shown greatness, especially with his skills, there are concerns about his move up in weight. Benavidez specifically spoke about Crawford's debut at 154 pounds, noting that while Crawford didn't struggle, he didn't show the same power that made him a dominant force at 147 pounds. Crawford has always been known for his ability to change tactics mid-fight, but when Benavidez looked at the situation, he raised the point that Crawford would need to jump 2 weight classes to face Canelo at 168 pounds.
How does the Canelo fight look with Benavidez? Who do you favor?
I still got it at 50-50.
Benavidez felt that Crawford would be at a significant disadvantage from the start. The thing with Canelo, Benavidez pointed out, is that he is simply bigger and more experienced at 168 pounds. He didn't hesitate to say that Canelo would win this matchup, emphasizing that size could be a huge factor at this level. The fact that Crawford hasn't yet proven himself at 168 pounds, while Canelo has been reigning supreme at that weight, makes the fight look like a mismatch in many people's eyes. Benavidez's comments reflect a broader concern about whether Crawford's technical skill set could overcome such a massive size disadvantage.
Siguiente round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Canelo has proven time and again that he can take on bigger, stronger opponents and still dominate. His strength, experience, and power have been enough to overcome nearly anyone in the division. So, for Crawford, jumping up to fight him might just be too much to handle. While many fans are eager to see the two go toe-to-toe, Benavidez sees it as an uphill battle for Crawford, despite his obvious skills. Sean Porter, another former world champion who has been in the ring with Crawford, took a more nuanced view. Porter, who understands Crawford's capabilities, weighed in on the potential fight, saying that although he sees it as a 50-50 matchup, he can't help but acknowledge that Canelo's experience in the super middleweight division might give him the edge.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo, he's gonna slow down. You know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam.
Porter was quick to admit that Crawford has some of the sharpest skills in the sport, but he also pointed out that Canelo's power and size could be too much for Crawford to overcome. Porter even acknowledged that Crawford has been rocked by opponents before, making it clear that while Crawford is a fantastic boxer, he isn't invincible. For Porter, the key to the fight would lie in Canelo's ability to land clean shots on Crawford, especially since Crawford hasn't yet fought at 168 pounds. He stressed that Canelo, with his strong fundamentals and ring savvy, would be ready to exploit any openings Crawford might leave. Porter's breakdown wasn't dismissive of Crawford's talent but pointed out the physical advantages Canelo would bring to the ring.
Like Ali Sheik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm 100% focused on this fight, and then with.
Porter also pointed out that while Crawford could have a shot if he sticks to his sharp technical style and works hard in the early rounds, he still sees Canelo having the upper hand. It's a tough call, Porter admitted. Goddamn, I don't know, emphasizing just how hard it is to pick a winner between these two champions. While Porter gave Crawford credit for his skills, he couldn't ignore the reality of the size difference and Canelo's dominant presence at 168 pounds. The situation with Canelo's mindset toward the fight is also an interesting factor. While Crawford has been vocal about wanting the fight, Canelo has been more hesitant.
Do you think that we'll actually see a Canelo versus Terence Crawford fight?
I don't think so. I think that it's much too much weight for Terence. His style was difficult.
In addition to these assessments, the topic of Canelo facing fighters like David Benavidez and Dmitry Bivol is still a part of the conversation. Benavidez, seen as one of the top threats in the super middleweight division, recently moved up to 175 pounds, leaving the potential Canelo-Benavidez fight in limbo. On the other hand, Dmitry Bivol, who gave Canelo one of his toughest fights, could be another option. However, that's not a fight that many fans are excited about. Canelo's history of calling the shots in his career might make it difficult for anyone, including Crawford, to step in and get the fight they want. So, what's your pick? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.